The region is once again on the brink of war. Israel has preemptively struck Iranian terror proxy Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and averted a massive missile attack. Now, Israel remains on high alert as it awaits a potential retaliation. Joining me for an analysis of the situation is Dr. Bouks, a senior research fellow and Patterson Chair in Security and Intelligence at the School of Communication and Department of Political Studies at Bar-Ilan University, and Dr. David Menashri, an expert in Islamic resistance and modern Iranian history from the Moshe Dayan Center for Middle Eastern and African Studies at Tel Aviv University. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You.
So, Dr. Bouks, let's start with you. You know, Israel preemptively struck Hezbollah to avert, a major missile attack that the terror group had planned. Now, for the past 10 months, Hezbollah has said that it does not want war with Israel, that they want to avert all-out war. And yet this attack, had it gone ahead, would have included missiles even to Tel Aviv, would have essentially been a major declaration of war. You know, so has Hezbollah changed its posture? Are they now ready for war with Israel?
We can say that we're in 10 months of a war of attrition. The north is practically a security zone, and many inhabitants of the north are being evacuated. So I cannot say we're not in a war. What Hezbollah did is define the retaliation on the assassination of Mr. Shukur, who was number 2 at Hezbollah. And they said and defined it that they have finished their retaliation as for today.
Now, the Islamic Republic has been greatly embarrassed by Israel twice now. The Islamic Republic has said it's backing down from a retaliation against Israel directly for now. Has it truly done so, or is it using Hezbollah to retaliate? And how much sway does the Islamic Republic truly have on Hezbollah, Professor Menashri?
Well, they have much influence on Hezbollah. Unlike some of the other proxies, Hezbollah is the most committed, but not always. Now, Iran established and initiated proxy to come to its aid and support in time that Iran needs. They were not supposed to be calling Iran to come and defend us. So Iran is, Khamenei is very calculated. He's maybe opportunist, but he's not adventurist. And he's thinking the most important thing for him is Iran. It is not the interest of Iran at this stage. And he said it from the first day, October 7th. They are not going to interfere in this war because they have much more to lose than to gain. Right now, the situation, I don't know, they are devastated. I don't think they have a reason to. Because what happened today, it really, it serves their interest. The war is not over. Israel is waiting for attack from Iran and also from Lebanon, if not today, tomorrow. So, and in the meantime, I must say that our citizens in the north that thought that maybe now this will bring an end to their misery, there is no solution.
And back to you, Dr. Bouks, you know, even if war doesn't break out this week between Israel and Hezbollah, the threat will remain. So how can Israel allow Hezbollah, a much stronger enemy than Hamas, to remain on its northern border? I mean, even if they move back past the Litani, would it only be inviting another October 7th, no further down the line? I mean, so perhaps with a stronger and even better prepared enemy. I mean, so what's your analysis of this?
Indeed, we forgot only one thing, that today the summit of Cairo is continuing with a few days of negotiations towards an agreement. Hassan Nasrallah said and proclaimed that if an agreement with Gaza will be achieved, then he will stop and cease all war. I want to add another thing. There is a draft, a French draft of an agreement with Lebanon that was presented in Lebanese television, the channel Al Jadid, in May. And it noted that the forces of Hezbollah will retaliate 10 kilometers to the north, and UNIFIL will gain much more forces, maybe backed by French forces. But the main thing is that the Lebanese army will be strengthened. In the draft, it's noted 15,000 soldiers, but practically now, the Lebanese army began to draft 1,500 or 2,000 forces to be on the border. I don't know if it will be effective or not, but it is a trial of gaining some sort of a ceasefire. About the infrastructure will stay, but I want to know that there are opposition voices against Hezbollah, which branded itself as the protector of Lebanon But protecting Lebanon by regaining it into the Stone Age is not a protection.
And Professor Menashri, I want to come back to you. You know, you said that Iran's proxies were meant to serve it and not the other way around. Should, this war continue to escalate and full-out war between Israel and Hezbollah were to evolve, would Iran intervene in any way, do you think?
Well, we don't know. At this time, it's not their interest. If there will be a war, and by that time Iran will have nuclear power, military, it's something else. Iran now must buy its time. It deals with the United States. You know, the whole story about animosity and that's everything is okay, but Iran and America, United States are speaking with each other. So it's premature to say. It is only the first day. Nasrallah said, we solved the problem for today. This is our retaliation for today. He didn't promise anything for tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, I say, Israel is a problem. With this situation, if it remains, you are absolutely right. That's not solves any problem to Israel. We didn't change the equation. In Gaza, we have to continue. At the same time, we have to continue with the North. And in between, I repeat myself, I feel pity for the inhabitants of the North that after 10 and a half months, there is you don't see anything in the horizon.
But, you know, we know that the Islamic Republic of Iran is behind Hamas, it's behind Hezbollah, it's funding, coordinating their attacks on Israel. And yet, as you said, it's remained largely unscathed by this ongoing war. I mean, so why has Israel not taken the war directly to the Islamic Republic, you know, cut off the head of the snake, so to speak?
Well, because it is not that simple. First, I don't know if you can do it without the United States. Second, you know, we are not going to conquer Iran. And it is very difficult. Many years ago, I established Center of Iranian Studies. One of our first meetings was about Iran, to attack Iran. There have been two generals speaking there. One was former Air Force commander, and one was former intelligence commander. I came back. My wife was eager to know what did the general say. Professor, she didn't care. And I told her, I don't know what they say. I tell you what I understand. We don't have military option. And it remains so until now. I think it's very, very difficult.
Disconcerting to hear that. Dr. Bouks, do you share that assessment?
About Iran or Lebanon?
Both.
I think that in Lebanon we have a strong opposition, which either speaks or there were some insurgents against Hezbollah, skirmishes of Christians firing against Hezbollah or catching on Mount Lebanon Hezbollah insurgents or perpetrators against churches. So we can see some sort of resentment that goes to the activity of operating against Hezbollah.
And you know, you mentioned the people of Lebanon. How are they reacting to the possibility of war? And do they support Hezbollah and what it's doing?
I would like to quote Gibran Basil, who's a Christian, a close ally, or formerly close ally of Nasrallah. And he said, we're not cheap bargains of Hezbollah. They're playing us as in a roulette in a casino. So many people do not want this war. And many of them want to live their regular lives. And as we can see, Beirut, and this is the argument, is some sort outside of these skirmishes. But we see other problems in Lebanon. They don't have any electricity. The currency collapsed. The country, without the war, is on the verge of breakdown. So this war comes when Lebanon is ill-prepared. Hezbollah is prepared, but the Lebanese people are not.
So taking a heavy toll on Lebanon as well. Well, I want to thank you both for offering your analysis
Thank you so much.
today, and let's hope for calmer and better days.
In a hope.
Thank you.